Natasha,
Debbie,
show.
the show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way.
Hi, welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
So I just gotta tell you guys something funny real quick. Yeah, I'm telling them. So we just came in and sat down to do this video. I looked over at Debbie's shirt and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, did you know Def Leppard's British?
Nope.
And I had a feeling she didn't. She just smiled at me like, haha, no. That was how you actually said it.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, I don't really have much information on bands
Music in general.
or music in general. I rely on my beautiful wife to inform me of all the good details.
I just thought it'd be funny because I knew she wouldn't know.
But now I know.
Yeah, best song, Hysteria. Ooh.
That is a good song.
That's my favorite. Anyway, welcome to the show. We are excited to do this episode today, but take it away.
Before we get into it, if you like our content, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to our channel.
So, Map Men. We haven't seen a Map Men video in like a year.
I know, it's
Actually,
been a
I think it's been
while.
longer than a year. And we've always had a blast watching and learn. We've always learned so much from them. And it's just been fun to watch their videos and things. So we're really excited about doing this one today. What's this one called?
And this one is called Why British Cities Make No Sense.
I think they probably do.
I think they make sense, but who knows what they're talking about?
Well, we learned about counties, and that was a lot of fun. So I guess we get to learn about the cities. I think I know a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have to have the cathedral, but I don't think that's for every city. I think there's some exceptions to that, and there's something else. I don't remember.
I don't remember what else is.
I do not.
Well, hopefully they're going to tell us some more information in this video.
Yeah, why British cities make no sense. So
And not give us casserole recipes. Because that was
refer back to our
gross.
first Map Men video. But yeah, it's time to check it out. So Map Men, this can't be nothing. This can't be nothing. This can't be bad. This can't be anything but a good time and some really cool information to learn here. So why British cities make no sense.
How would you define a city?
It's what you do on a cherry.
How would you
Nice.
define a city?
An inhabited place of greater size, population, or importance than a town or village.
That's better, but wrong.
Welcome to Map. Ow! Welcome to Map Men.
We're the men.
And here's the map.
Map, men.
Wish we had a theme
In the
song
majority
like that.
of the world where it's not Britain, the definition of city is reasonably reasonable.
In Japan, a city is any settlement with more than 50,000 people. In the USA, a city is anywhere with its own incorporated government.
But Britain, as per usual, has its own special way of doing things.
Here is a map of all 76 places in the UK that are officially classed as cities. The usual ones you've heard of are there: Liverpool, Manchester, Bradford, Leeds, and so on.
But among them are some surprising and seemingly unworthy cities. Ely with just 20,000 people, Ripon with just 16,000 people,
Wow.
and St David's with less than 1,500 people. Barely
Wow.
enough for a flash mob.
And oppositely, there are some very notable places that are mysteriously not on this map. Where's Reading? Or Northampton? Or Bournemouth?
The most surprising omission from this list is none other than London. Britain's capital city is technically not a city.
Although
Hold the phones. Stop the presses.
What? Wait.
God, I'm old.
How? Why?
How? What? London's not a city.
It has to be.
It's a city.
It has to be some kind
They're
of
in a-
technicality.
I was gonna say they're messing with us and they're gonna give us
Yeah. Some BS.
some. No, maybe. Okay, let's regroup. Let's find out what he's talking about.
where's Reading? Or Northampton? Or Bournemouth?
The most surprising omission from this list is none other than London. Britain's capital city is technically not a city.
Although, confusingly, Greater London contains within it the City of Westminster and the tiny, confusingly named City of London, which is not the same as London.
We know that.
So what's going on? If British cityness is clearly nothing to do with size, then what is the criteria?
Hold
what
on.
makes a
No explanation about London.
No?
Do you know? Because I don't know. Clearly, I don't know. You don't know.
No.
You don't know Def Leppard's
I
even
guess it
British,
just-
so you don't know.
Clueless. I guess he's going to tell us what the criteria is to make a city
Yeah,
a
but
city and why
London's
London
got-
doesn't fit that criteria.
London's got everything. Hopefully, he'll come back to that in the end. Okay, sorry, I just. Whatever.
If British cityness is clearly nothing to do with size, then what is the criteria? What makes a British city a city?
I think I know this one.
I think you don't.
It's something to do with cheese.
Let's deal with some common misconceptions. Cathedral. Contrary to popular wrongness, city status in the UK has nothing to do with having a cathedral.
There are 12 cities without a cathedral of any kind.
And 32 non-cities with a cathedral of any kind.
I'm pausing.
Okay.
Y'all in the comments told me that. So
They did.
no, it's not my fault that I said that earlier in the video. Y'all said that. So, ha. I don't know why I said ha.
Haha, we caught you.
We're all done. We're all wrong. We're all wrong. Really? Are you guys shocked?
I'm shocked because I've heard that more times than I can count.
Also, forgot to mention, if other people have done this video and you're just now seeing this, we're recording this like just a couple days after it came out. We're just not technically here right now. We pre-recorded this. So I'm being serious because I have a feeling this is going to be well reacted to and it'll look like we just jumped on the bandwagon, but I promise no one else had done so at the time of us
At this time.
recording this. Anyway, okay, weird. What's going on here with this whole cathedral thing?
There are 12 cities without a cathedral of any kind.
And 32 non-cities with a cathedral of any kind.
What?
Yay. University. Another common assumption is that you can't spell
that's what it
university
was.
without city. But just as with cathedrals, there are multiple examples proving that this is not the case, including 17 UK cities that do not have universities. Can you name 3?
Hard Knocks Cooper Jones.
Ripon, Wakefield and St Asaph.
Correct, and for a bonus, can you also name 3 non-cities that do have universities?
Northampton, Reading and Ipswich.
And that's our bonus word of the day! And this way
Ipswich!
you'll be spending an all-expenses-paid weekend trip to Ipswich with your mother. Brought to you by the town of Ipswich.
In an admittedly nowhere near as common as the other two, but we're going to deal with it anyway, misconception. Just because you're at Meh doesn't mean the thing you're at Meh of is a city.
For 2 examples, Ramji Chauhan is the old-timey ceremonial red robe and gold chain Lord Mayor of Harrow, which is a dull suburban borough, not a city, and Oliver Coppard is the democratically elected Metro Mayor of South Yorkshire, a massive political region comprising mostly countryside, which is even more not a city.
The term mayor in Britain is almost as confusing, useless and vague as city itself.
Really?
So then, what is the answer? What decides whether a place makes the official British list of cities?
The surprisingly simple answer is the king. In a tradition going back to the 10th century, city status in Britain is granted by personal command of the sovereign and conferred by letters patent.
Do you know what that means?
I do. Not.
The long version is this, and the short version is every city on the official list has been put there by the monarch. It's as simple as that. On the list, city. Not on the list, not a city.
Really?
So why then do so many people think it's about cathedrals?
Because it used to be. In the olden days, all settlements by today's standards were rather small. With Britain's population being overwhelmingly rural, cities weren't considered important if they were big, but if they were powerful.
Back then, power came from the church. Big cathedrals such as Wells, Ely and St Albans, which oversaw large chunks of the surrounding countryside, made the settlements they were in important settlements.
Okay.
And so the then monarch awarded these places city status, which they retain to this day.
But what about all those cities with city status that don't have cathedrals? When did the monarch start awarding city status to them, and why?
In the 19th century, and because... The arrival of the Industrial Revolution caused some towns to turn into manufacturing powerhouses and go through smoky growth spurts.
By the 1850s, the little town of Birmingham was now bursting with factory workers and had outgrown the nearby cities of Lichfield and Leicester. The citizens insisted that the synod-slanted system that saw sensible cities for several consecutive centuries suddenly seemed silly.
Well done.
And demand
Anyone else find that incredibly sexy, or just me?
That was pretty good. There was a lot of S's and a lot of...
That was sexy. I want to hear that again. I learned so much from these guys, it's ridiculous.
I thought he was going to say because Romans, but he didn't.
But Birmingham was once a town.
factory workers and had outgrown the nearby cities of Lichfield and Leicester. The citizens insisted that the synod-slanted system that saw sensible cities for several consecutive centuries suddenly seemed silly.
Well done.
And demanded that their town be given the city status it deserved.
So the Prime Minister Lord Salisbury decided the time had come to change the cathedrals.
Oh, excellent. That's really good.
Well, that was fun. Let's take a moment to appreciate that pun. Cathedrals.
Time had come to change the cathedrals.
Oh, excellent. That's really good. No,
Thank you.
Top,
Thank you.
top, one of your
Thank you.
five.
And reinvented the meaning of city.
Incidentally, that's the same Lord Salisbury who, at the same time, reinvented the meaning of the word county.
Great
In
video.
1889, Birmingham's size and industrial importance was officially acknowledged when it became the first place without an Anglican cathedral to gain city status.
The first one?
Confusingly,
Okay.
Birmingham's church turned into a cathedral later in 1905, but for an explanation of how that works, ask a priest.
Father, what's the difference between a church and a cathedral?
Something to do with bishops?
Birmingham was quickly followed by cathedral-free Sheffield, Bradford, Hull, Nottingham, and a slow trickle of other godless heathen towns
Fun fact, Def Leppard is from Sheffield. Sorry.
Wow.
that had recently become large, joining throughout the 20th century. The list was gradually starting to make more and more sense.
Okay.
Until 1994, when a completely good run of sensible cityings was ruined by the tiny Welsh village of St David's for no good reason.
Apparently, the Queen just liked it. The thing
enough
that makes
reason.
this
That's a good
otherwise
reason.
logical list illogical is these
They
pesky
changed the
small
sign.
cities that ruin it for the proper big ones. So, can a place lose its city status if it doesn't deserve it anymore?
In 1998, Little Rochester in Kent, which had been a city since 1211, merged its local council with its neighbours to form the modern unitary authority of Medway.
What they didn't realise was doing this effectively removed Rochester from the official list of British cities.
Oh, really?
The new Council of Medway could have retained city status simply by filling in a bit of paperwork, but they forgot, making poor Rochester the only place in the UK ever to lose its city status.
Really?
Luckily, the Rochesterians didn't have to wait very long for a chance to put things right. The year 2000 was the roundest date in the calendar in living memory, even for trees. The government celebrated this milestone with a big blancmange, a bicycle wheel, and the announcement of a bidding round for city status.
3 new cities were to join the list, and for the first time ever, any town with ambitions to become a city could apply to be one. And
wow.
size did not matter.
The criteria they were looking for were notable features, historic features, royal features, and a forward-looking attitude.
And so, lots of towns submitted bids, each having to provide a 25-page pamphlet and lots of photos explaining why they were worthy.
The hot favourite to win was Reading, the largest town in England with a fast-growing tech sector. It boldly ticked all these boxes.
And the winners of Millennium City Status 2000 are Inverness, Brighton and Hove, and Wolverhampton.
Ooh, not ready.
Oh, wow.
The national bidding for city status frenzy was so much fun, the government decided to make it a semi-regular thing every time the Queen had a party.
Newport, Newry, Preston, Stirling, and Lisbon.
Lisbon?
Not ready.
Oh, Lisburn.
Chelmsford, Perth, and St Asaph.
St Asaph?
Wales ran out of big towns.
Bangor, Colchester, Doncaster, Dunfermline, Milton Keynes, Wrexham, and Southend.
And that brings us to today's grand total of 76 cities. 8 in Scotland, 7 in Wales, 6 in Northern Ireland, and 55 in England.
Wow.
Okay.
The question we need to ask,
Other than why did the Queen hate Reading so much?
why bother bidding? Submitting a bid is an expensive business, with tens of thousands of pounds being spent on printer ink alone. So what are the advantages of being a city instead of a town?
That's my
Extra
question.
government
Yeah.
funding?
Nope.
Extra local powers?
Nope.
Extra promotion for tourism?
I was just,
Who was that?
really?
Sorry, typo. The clue is in the name, city status. That's a very good word for it because that's literally all it is.
And that's why every town that bids has
Okay.
a different justification for why their bid was bother-worthy. Preston said gaining city status in 2002 put them on the map, even though our research has shown that Preston was already on most maps.
Perth claimed that in the decade since becoming a city in 2012, its economy grew 12%, which would be impressive if it weren't for nearby Dundee also growing by about 12%.
Towns don't even need to win to benefit from bidding. The parish council of Marazion in Cornwall submitted a no-hoper underdog bid without their bosses in Cornwall ever knowing about it. They were quickly disqualified, but not before the subsequent publicity resulted in a mini boost in tourism.
The people who seem to get the most tangible benefit from the bidding process are the government themselves. Awarding city status to an unsung town is a way to appear to show support for it and get some positive PR without having to commit any time or money.
That's really interesting that it doesn't really
Do anything?
do much for the actual city.
Yeah.
The growth seemed to be the same whether they were a city or not a city. So,
I heard about last year when the Queen was still with us, granting city status. We have a friend in Wrexham. Hi, Lucy. You know, some people I know in Wrexham didn't want it. So, but yeah, I heard about the Queen was able to do that. She was able to give like so many. So I knew that part. Didn't know why, but I find that interesting. But you're right. Did he not just? I'm sorry. Did he not just say why? Like that the government kind of wins out with this in a way.
The most tangible benefit from the bidding process are the government themselves.
Yeah, thought
Awarding
so.
city status to an unsung town is a way to appear to show support for it and get some positive PR without having to commit any time or money.
That's crap. That's the typical politician stuff right there. Do you guys agree? I hope you're not taking that in a negative way. I just mean it's
Right.
it's typical of politicians to be like, yeah, we did this thing. It doesn't give anything to you though. I mean, I don't know. I kind of have a hard time believing it doesn't do something. But like they said, you know, if the one where was it that grew 12%? Sorry,
I don't
brain ain't
know
working that way. But having both places next to each other, they both grew the same amount.
Yeah.
You would hope that the tourism would change, but
You would think.
I mean, I'll be honest, a lot of the places he's listed, I didn't know were it cities, and these are places we've looked at here on the channel, and it does not affect how I feel it at all.
No, not
Like, no, what do you have to offer us, you know, as far as us as being tourists, you know?
exactly. You've got good places to go. We're coming.
Yeah, and you're pretty, you got great food. I mean, it doesn't matter to us as, you know, people outside of your country, whether it's a city or not. So I'm sure it probably doesn't to any other tourists.
I wouldn't think so.
You tell us. This is just our thoughts.
But is this okay? Is it right that the government of the day gets to mess with the dictionary definition of a geographical word?
Good
Is
question.
it perhaps time we dropped this nonsense of a system and replaced it with something more meaningful?
Like what?
The government has 8,007 more important things to worry about than what the meaning of city is. Once those have been sorted, yes, we might look at redefining the definition, and even then, we probably shouldn't.
After all, a vague
What did I just say? Hold
Yes,
on.
we might look at
I saw something about,
Google our employees.
sorry, Google, get rid of all the mosquitoes, put a human on Pluto just for misery, remove all statues, they're boring, lock cinema doors until after the credits. Ha! This is hilarious.
Oh.
Ban the number 71, make dogs wear clothes,
I like their list.
put a
there.
human on the sun for no reason, spin around really, really, really fast. There was something else on this one. Invade Canada. It says invade Canada.
And then apologize to
And
Canada.
then bring back the word scram. This is too good. Make poo sticks an Olympic sport. Hold on. Where is it? Where was the give David Attenborough whatever he wants? That's the one I saw that caught my eye really quickly. Make old people retake driving tests.
I like replace BBC 2 with Mad Men on repeat.
Ban beards without mustaches. Yes. I agree. This is hysterical.
Oh.
I love these guys. And
Ban
then-
ice cream bans. No, don't do that.
And then the next one says, I'm completely serious. Ban ice cream
No.
bans. Okay, hang on. This is just hilarious right here. Sit down and say, sorry about that. Stand up and say, ooh, ah. Who would win in a fight, Mark or Jay? Definitely Mark.
There's
Change to driving on the right, 122. We will vote for that. We can't. And then it says, see what it's like. Then bring it back. Then change it back again if necessary. Oh, okay. We'll stop. Sorry.
that was
That's
good.
hilarious. Like, I'd like to sit here and read every single one of these. Stop the silly shouting in Parliament. Ban those little blue things in toothpaste. Make the BBC News music slightly faster.
nice.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. That's too funny.
Once those have been sorted, yes, we might look at redefining the definition, and even then, we probably shouldn't.
After all, a vague, archaic, mostly harmless tradition fraught with pomp and ceremony and mawkish self-aggrandizing with a bit of royalty thrown in is about the most British thing imaginable and would never happen in a boring, sensible country like Germany.
Regular rounds of royal city statusing look set to be with us for many jubilees to come.
So, if you want your town to become a city, just sit tight and wait, and rest assured that at this rate, every corner of the country will become a city by the year 3000.
The winner is Newport Franklin Services on year 1.
Except Reading.
That was awesome, as always.
Their videos are always so fun.
Don't they increase their budget every video they do?
They seem to.
And they do such great production work. They really research their information and they teach it in a way that's fun. And I mean, it's very informative. I learn a ton every time we watch their videos. I've never not learned something from them.
Get the information with some humor on the side.
That's
Love
the
it.
best way to do it.
It is.
Their humor is my humor.
Mm-hmm.
I love these guys, but that was a great video. If you guys like that video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It's free.
It is.
But I still think the counties video might have been my favorite, but this one was probably funnier to me.
This one was pretty funny, especially their list of
Yeah.
things that need to be done.
That was great. I really wish we had time to sit there, but I didn't want to bore you guys reading all hundred and was it like 200 or 100 something?
Yeah.
But no, I honestly didn't know Well, again, I was wrong about the cathedrals. How many of you were? Don't act like you weren't, because so many of you told us that. And I think the university, that was the one I couldn't remember at the beginning when I was talking. I thought there were two things. But be honest, admit it in the comments if you were wrong about that, and if you learned something here. What did you learn? Besides the cathedral and the university. Would you want your city, if it's not? I'm sorry. Would you want your town?
Your town to become a city.
Or village or whatever. And I mean, what, if anything, are there, positives that that maybe they're not talking about here?
Maybe you know of some difference that it makes some... I have no idea.
I got questions, and I don't have the answers. But I love watching these guys. Again, we reacted to this before anybody else has. It just didn't come out in time. So we wanted to make sure that we got our Queen Elizabeth's tribute video out. And so, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a blast. Always do watching.
Always fun.
Yeah, they're hilarious. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We will be back on Wednesday with more Norway. So I hope you tune in for that. And until then, please, as always, love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
See you guys.
Bye.